So at least you'll have an idea of where we're going. The pole here off to the left at the corner of Sunset and I believe this is Valencia. Yeah, Sunset and Valencia. That is where the start line will be. All right, and we are going to go up the roadway across the bridge, just like the course in the past has been done in the past. All right. Try to do this without too much difficulty. One of the first changes that you're going to find on the St. John's course this year is that rather than turning right, you will be turning to the left. While I'm driving on the right-hand side of the roadway, the athletes and participants in this run will have access to the entire road surface. This will be a completely closed course. All right, so we're going to turn left here. Now we're going to take the first left-hand turn here on Grieve, coming off the circle onto Grieve. Bear with the bumpiness of the road and the quality of this video. This is the first effort with a video camera. I can't guarantee that there are not going to be cars on the roadway here during the afternoon of the race. Once we come off of Grieve, we're going to come back onto Circle and then we're going to turn left. At this point, we're turning left onto Circle, and we will be turning left onto Boblets Road. Now, I am cutting some of these corners a little on the short side. I am riding tangents, some, but most of the time I'm going to stay on the right-hand side here for your benefit, just because I'm driving in a car. As you can see, the view here today is absolutely gorgeous, and the conditions when I measured it were just as nice. It's going to be a great day in mid-May when it comes to mid-May. Gilliland Street, we'll be turning up onto Gilliland later on in the course. As you know, there are speed bumps out here in the neighborhood. Not such a bad thing for bicycles, but for automobiles, it's a little different story. All right, and we're coming very close to the first mile mark on the course. I believe it's going to be at the mailbox of 319, and I'm coming up here. You'll see an old mark there. That is definitely not a proper mark. Okay. Your first mile point here is at the mailbox of 321 Boblets. If you're wearing a GPS on the course and you run the exact shortest possible distance on the course, your GPS will probably go off about 5 feet before you reach that mile point. That's pretty much normal. One, it means you're having a good day with your GPS, and two, that means I did my measurements correctly. The difference between using GPS for measurement purposes and using what USA Track and Field approves to measure courses, which is a calibrated bicycle, is, two totally different animals. I get many GPS users who ask me, why does my GPS say, the course is so much longer than what you say the course is? Well, there are a number of things here. One, GPSs, especially consumer grade, are not completely accurate. They have a single point of error anywhere from 0 to 20 meters in, 20 feet in radius. So I could take a single point and it'd be anywhere within a circle, within a 40-foot circle, you know, from where I actually am on the course. And most GPSs pick up signals at a rate of 1 every 2 seconds. So, you know, if you're moving along slowly, you know, you could be anywhere from you know, very short distance from one pole to the next, or you know, whatever have you, or very far away. So you could be anywhere from 20 feet, you know, 40 feet less than where you were to 40 feet longer than you actually traveled. And you know, when you're walking slowly or running, it's even more radical than it is when you're driving on a car or riding on a bicycle. We're turning here onto Gibbs. So what happens is with the calibrated bicycle that we measure with, the bike mechanic piece, the counter, is accurate to within 3 inches, which is, as you can guess, much more minute, you know, margin of error. So I mean, you're talking 3 inches compared to anywhere up to 20 feet, and you're not going to be able to tell with a GPS just how accurate or inaccurate it is, unless you set it up on your GPS. Also, one thing you need to keep in mind is that on a bicycle, we are riding the shortest possible distance on the course. 2. 3, we also add on a 1 to 1,000 error ratio, which makes a, you know, every mile is an additional 5.2 feet, you know, on a course. So rather than 5,280 feet, you're doing 5,285 and change feet. Okay. We're approaching mile 2 here, just past the intersection of Brown and Gilliland, and it will be right here at the edge of this particular driveway. This is your second mile split right here. All right. I figure if in the afternoon, this should be wonderful. You know, if you're running along with some, you know, some shade here and there. A lot of people who use GPSs tend to not run the shortest possible distance. They don't run tangents. As you can see, if I'm turning at this point, you see where the road comes here. I would aim right for that point along the corner there, over towards where the blue Jeep is. I would be aiming my car and my running that direction. That would help me to get the shortest possible distance. Most people don't do that, and they don't tend to think much about that sort of thing. All right. And now we're coming back onto, I believe this is Sunset? I think this is Sunset, yes. We're going to turn left here. And we're going to turn right at the corner here to Northwest Circle. Yes, Northwest Circle. We're turning here, and we're going to take Circle back to the start area. And towards the school. All right. Riding the shortest possible distance on a course is very, very challenging if you have automobiles that are on the course. You know, sometimes as a bicyclist, I'll either lock up the wheel, roll the distance in a straight line, and then get back on again, or I'll take it up along the curbing so that, you know, making margin for error. Measurers always err on the side of shortness. I mean, it's just one of those things. We don't like courses to be short. It really makes things very embarrassing for us. In the event that if somebody were to come out and run this course, a certified course, and set an age group record, you know, age group record, open record, national record, whatever, world record, you know, which, you know, hardly would happen around here, but you may see an age group record on occasion here. What would have to happen for that record to stand is that USA Track and Field would send a measurer out here to review the course and to go back and measure the course just to make sure that everything was, you know, done properly. And then after that measurement was completed and confirmed, then that record would be put on the record books. But what happens is if the course is found short or inaccurate, when I mean inaccurate I mean short, the certification for the course would be taken away, and that possible record would not be considered valid. All right, we are approaching the 3rd mile here, which is up at the intersection of Valencia and Sunset. We're coming back in, and we're going to turn left here. 3rd mile is right there at the edge of the intersection, or at the edge of the driveway. And then you're going to turn in and run into this finish line here at the end of the parking lot. All right, and we are coming up to the pole here on our left at the left by the mailbox here, and we get to that particular point, and we are going to travel approximately 6 feet further than that. It's about where this blue mark is here on our left-hand side. And that